Hello and welcome back to Trails of Cold Steel. Last episode we found out that something happened during the night at the Grand Market, destroying two people's stalls. So we're going to talk to the two stall owners and then go from there. And to think, I was ecstatic to finally participate in the famous Celtic Market. What did I ever do to deserve this? Excuse me? You. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to see me acting like that. I hope you can forgive me for my inappropriate behavior. He seems really down. Quite understandable. He's a merchant in a busy market, unable to do business. So what brings you here? Did you need something from me? Well, actually, Reen explained that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what had happened the previous night. You're investigating? That's right, and we'd really appreciate it if you could answer a few questions for us. You may be able to help us find the true culprit. I suppose it can't hurt. It's better than doing nothing, at least. You don't have to sound so pessimistic. Well, can you blame me? You're students at a military academy. You're not exactly ace detectives. That is true, but we're still determined to find out who did this. We may even be able to recover your goods. Cooperating with us could prove quite fruitful. Okay, fine. I never said I wouldn't help you, did I? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say, though. It's not like I saw anything worth mentioning. You didn't? As soon as I made sure my stall was ready to open the next morning, I left everything set up and went home. The other merchants around here can vouch for that. Guess I shouldn't have left the stall unattended, though. By the time I got in, it was too late. The deed had been done. So by morning, the stall had already been destroyed and your goods stolen? Come to think of it, what goods were stolen exactly? Well, I have a sample with me, actually. An accessory? Is this a brand that's popular in the capital? Been a real hit lately, yeah. I was hoping to bring the fad here by selling them at the market. But this is the only one I have left now. I dread to think just how much money I lost in one single night. That damned coward sabotaging my business. It's much too early to be jumping to conclusions. Do you have any evidence that proves his culpability? No, but he's clearly the prime suspect. He was so against the idea of taking turns sharing the spot with me, he decided he'd destroy my stall altogether. I just know it. I'm going to get him to give me my goods back, no matter what it takes. Then, if you think it's him, then why would he destroy his own stall? Please try to stay calm. You do know that if you cause any more trouble, the provincial army really will arrest you, right? Yeah, I know, but it's a matter of justice. I can't just act like nothing ever happened. It's wrong on a general principle. I'm begging you, please get my goods back, whatever it takes. Well, I can't promise success, but I swear to you we'll do everything we can. That much I can promise. I think that's everything this merchant knows. Let's try questioning the other one. Alright. Here's this guy. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but could we have a moment of your time? You're those kids from that military academy, right? What do you want from me? I've got nothing to sell you, obviously. Even if I did have something to sell, I've got no place to sell it. I'm basically ruined. And top it all off, the provincial army and that other damned merchant are acting like I'm the one who did it. He's not taking this very well, is he? Hard to blame him, but we need to see if he knows anything here that might help us. Well, you see, he explains that he and his classmates were investigating the truth behind what had happened the previous night. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. You're investigating this mess, huh? Okay. So would you consider cooperating with us? Sure, why not? Not getting my hopes up, as I'm sure you can understand. But hell, I got nothing left to lose. Not exactly a vote of confidence. Hey, he's willing to cooperate. I say we cut him some slack and hear him out. So about last night, at the time the incident actually happened. Last night, huh? I don't know how much help I can be if that's what you're asking about here. See, I left the market right after arguing with that merchant yesterday, and I didn't come back till this morning. I stayed over at a friend's place. Another merchant just got pissed drunk and ranted at him all night. And you're certain of this? Positive. Ask my friend if you don't believe me. He'll back me up. I wandered over here with an awful hangover this morning, and what I found gave me a hell of a start. My whole stall in shambles. And as if that weren't bad enough, all the processed food I was going to sell were just gone, without trace. So the goods that were stolen were all processed foods? That's right, nuts, cheese, bacon, all foods that have a long shelf life, made with local ingredients. Seeing all my stuff gone really sobered me up. It was like I hadn't been drinking at all. And that's why I went over to that fool's stall to make him pay for it. Why did you go straight to him? Because he was the one who did it, of course. He smashed my stall so he could have that spot all to himself. But that doesn't make any sense. If Heinz did it, then why was his stall destroyed too? Why didn't we say that at the other stall? He must have done that to himself. Probably figured if he destroyed his own stall, no one would believe he could be responsible. I don't know, that seems pretty unlikely. It's a bit excessive. While I understand your frustration, baseless accusations do no one any favors and only cloud the true issue. But it's so frustrating. I've lost so much money because of this. I might have to shut up shop for good. That is bad. If I could at least get my goods back, maybe I could salvage enough to stay afloat. What are the odds of that? None of the other merchants saw anybody do anything, and the Provincial Army sure ain't about to help. I'm finished, pure and simple. All the hard work I put into getting this far, and this is how the dream ends for me. Well, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much we'll actually be able to do for you, but we'll do everything in our power to help you find some form of closure. So cheer up, okay? I do appreciate that, but again, I ain't about to get my hopes up. Good luck, though. Alright. That's all the two victims of this crime have to say, it seems. What does everybody think? I can't be sure, but I really don't think either of them is responsible. Both merchants certainly have adequate motive to damage the other stall, but the chance of both committing the same crime on the same night without crossing paths is virtually nil. It's not impossible that they were just out to steal each other's merchandise, but I don't believe that's what happened. Both of them have alibis confirming that they were somewhere else when the crime took place. I'm inclined to agree. I just can't see either of these merchants being responsible for what happened, so we're going to have to look elsewhere to find viable suspects. Where though? I mean, who could it possibly have been? The Provincial Army. It's impossible to say right now. We don't have any solid leads. We know who the culprit wasn't, but how are we supposed to start narrowing down who it was? The market itself seems unlikely to produce any further clues, so we should focus our attention elsewhere. Actually, there is one thing that's been bugging me. There's one group of people involved in this whole situation whose actions don't seem to make any sense. Maybe we can work out the reasoning behind their strange behavior. We can come one step closer to finding our culprit, the Provincial Army. Whom do you mean? I'm talking about the Provincial Army. They haven't done a thing to try and solve this crime, despite it happening right under their noses. And that begs a question, why not? The market manager said they're refusing to fulfill their role due to the tax issue, which means the Provincial Army should refuse to intervene in quarrels within the market as well. If that's the case, then why did they come and intervene this morning? Now that you mention it, that really doesn't make any sense. Their methods were atrocious, but the fact is they brought that dispute to an end almost instantly. They did get involved. Yeah, 1 minute they're refusing to do anything, then the next they're taking a stand. It's definitely suspicious. My point exactly. There's definitely something unnatural about the way they're conducting themselves. And since we have no other leads, what do you say we go to the Army's guardhouse and take a look around? We might be able to learn something from them that could aid us in our investigation. That may be worth an attempt. The guardhouse isn't too far from here either. Let's head on over and see what we can find out. Okay, let's head down. Oh, it's this girl here. This is for the one of the side quests that we were given tasks to do. Excuse me, would you happen to be Lizzie? That's correct. Does that make you the students from Thor's who the market manager said would be coming then? Yep, that's us. We came to see you about the request you sent in. Could you explain the situation to us in full? Of course. I happened to come across someone's wallet by my store yesterday, you see. I kept it with me in the hopes that they would come to pick it up, but no one's come to claim it. As such, I'd like to ask you all for your help in delivering it back to its owner. Would you be able to do that for me? We'd be happy to help. Thank you. Here's the wallet that I found then. We'll be sure to take good care of it. I assume that you've already inspected the contents? I did indeed. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything inside that could help to identify the owner. What exactly was inside it anyway? Well, naturally there was Mira in it. Like a lot of Mira. This isn't just chump change we're talking about. The only other thing was a train ticket to Heimdall that's scheduled for tonight. Sounds like the owner is a fairly well-off traveler then. There's not much we can do with that as our only lead though. I believe the train ticket is potentially our best lead. Yeah, but what should we do with it? Should we go and ask at the station? Yeah, considering it's for a train that leaves tonight, I imagine the owner is frankly searching for it. Which means they might have already been to the station themselves to ask about it. Let's head over to the station then. Sorry for the trouble, but I'm counting on you for this. Alright. So we're gonna head over there. Alright. Yes, there was an inquiry. The wall seems to match the description we received too. Can I ask when the query was made? I believe it was this morning. A young lady came along in a panic, claiming that she was at a complete loss without her wallet and its contents. From what I could tell, she seems to have been traveling alone too. I get why she would be in a panic then. Did she say anything else that could lead us to her? She mentioned about something returning to the inn to do a thorough check, if I recall correctly. It's the weathercock right down the street, you can't miss it. How convenient, we happen to be staying there ourselves. Let's go ask Margit. Alright. Hey there, is something the matter? Do you have a moment? There's something we'd like to ask you. Explain the situation. Oh, you're looking for Annabelle. Bad timing though, she just left. That's unfortunate. But we have a name now at least, that makes life a lot easier. True, all that's left now is to actually meet with her. She mentioned that she'd be searching at the rest area in the Grand Market next, so you'll want to head there. Make sure you return to her, okay? We will, let's go. Alright. Well, a little tedious work it seems, but that's fine. Oh my god, she just left. You wouldn't have to know if a young lady came in here searching for her wallet, would you? She was indeed here a few moments ago, but she's gone now. You know where she went then? Fortunately not. She did mention something about having no choice but to rely on Aidios now, though. Okay. Yeah, there's no reason to read that. We pretty much know exactly where she is now. If I don't get stuck on every tiny thing that we pass by. I'm surprised we even passed by her. Oh, Aidios, please have mercy on my poor soul. I simply cannot believe this. How am I supposed to live on, having lost all my mirror in a place like this? Looks like we found her. Tragic heroine act made it kind of obvious. Unfortunately, we'll have to interrupt her. Excuse me? Eek! Just who are all of you? Well, you can turn right around if you're planning to rob me. I no longer have any. Please calm down. We just want to ask you something. Are we correct in assuming that you are Annabelle? I am? I thought so. You won't happen to recognize this wallet, would you? That's my wallet. Where did you find it? Well, you see. Yep, explain. Thank you so much. Surprised to hear that a merchant from the Grand Market kept it safe for me, however. Kindness remains within people's hearts after all, it would seem. Looks that way, yeah. Regardless, I'm very grateful that you found it for me. Is there any particular amount that you'd like in return? You can take half of what's currently in here if you'd like. I don't think we can accept that. Your thanks alone are enough. I see. Well, how about this then? I purchased it as a souvenir at the Grand Market before the Grey Wallet search began. God push, I see no reason you can't accept that, in fact. I insist. Hope you find it useful. Thank you. We gratefully accept then. You're very welcome. Thank you again for finding my wallet. Then we go back to her. We managed to find it. I really can't thank you enough. Glad that we could be of help. Please excuse us. That took a hot minute, but we got it. Let's look at this. I think our other quest... Yeah, it's in the West Celtic Highway. So we're gonna go there, complete that, and then we'll... Okay, it looks like we can't leave this place yet. So what's that here? Aren't you those students from that military academy, was it? What are you doing here? 1 second. We're terribly sorry to trouble you, but we were hoping you might be able to help us with something. Can we ask you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning? What? What does that have to do with you? We're visiting this town on field study as a student of Thor's Military Academy, and we would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers such as yourselves handle difficult everyday situations. Seems a perfect opportunity for an anecdotal case study, and could prove most invaluable to our education, if you'd permit it. Damn, Laura, lying through your teeth. Alright, stay here, I'll see what I can do. Looks like we may be able to hear what they have to say for themselves after all. Nicely done, Laura. Times like these, we need to make good use of our positions. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn after all. But now comes the hard part. This makes me nervous. Well, let's just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it. And even more importantly, what they don't say. Right. I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedule for this. How is their schedule busy when they're not even helping the main thing that supports this town, which is the Grand Market? They're fucking doing nothing. So what do you want? And make it quick. I'm a busy man, you know. He's not even trying to keep up appearances. Unbelievable. I'll be brief then. We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Would we be correct in assuming that the Provincial Army will be conducting no further investigation? Is that all you came here to ask? Is that all? Should the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in this region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure. You got a big mouth for someone your age, and it seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work. What do you mean? Let me ask you this. What should the #1 priority of the Provincial Army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you, their #1 priority should be to enforce the will of their region's ruling order. Duke Alberea. As members of the Provincial Army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect. I assume you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase. So you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the Grand Market isn't something you have a duty to protect? Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers, we follow our orders, that's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy inductees telling us how to do our jobs. This is nuts. Does he even have a tiny shred of shame? I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but it sure doesn't seem too likely anymore. Too likely. So is that it then? I hope that this has been enlightening. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a job to do. To go and sit and drink and do fucking nothing. Wait. Would you mind answering just one more question? Elliot? Fine, ask it. Well, do you have any idea what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant. All he had left was that one sample. What are you talking about? That merchant from the capital, Hines, was the one who was planning on selling accessories. What did you just say? Oh, he tricked him. What are you all looking at me like that for? How do you know that? I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. How peculiar. We only discovered what each of the merchants was intending to sell a short while ago ourselves. Sir, we have our own ways of finding those things out. You do well not to underestimate us. Now we've wasted enough time answering your questions. We're leaving. That was smart, Elliot. Do you think the fact that they know what each of the merchants was selling means they did investigate the matter after all? But the burglary happened last night and it was only first discovering this morning. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during the time for them to do any digging, not without running into us. Agreed. I suspect they knew what each merchant was planning to sell well in advance of yesterday's incident. Though that would be easy information for them to learn, since Duke Alberea must have issued permits for both stalls. That's true, and the army would have no trouble gaining access to transaction records for something like that. But why would they bother? Maybe they need to know so they can prepare? Prepare for what? I get the impression that the incident at the market had been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coincidence either. Yeah. It was probably done to them to get them to start fighting, so they could get robbed while there was tension between them. Basically, to create a situation that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. So the two merchants were being used all along. That seems to fit perfectly with what happened this morning. Meanwhile, the provincial army has shown no interest in actively working toward a solution. Unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So they waited for things to get out of hand, then showed up to force both parties into an uncomfortable truce. Eventually, the merchants would get worn down enough that they'd feel like they have no choice but to withdraw the petition. This turning out to be an even shadier situation than I thought. Yeah, but thanks to Elliot, I do believe we finally uncovered the truth of the matter. That was indeed some very quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. You'd make a fine military strategist. I just got lucky, that's all. So what we know is the provincial army is somehow involved with the actual perpetrators of this crime. There's only one way to solve it once and for all, though. Seems to be, well, find them and catch them. But if this was carried out by members of the provincial army, that's not going to be an easy task. No, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. Soldiers here are far too proud to dirty their hands with such escapades. I tend to agree. Really, whoever the culprits are, I doubt they're still here in Celtic. There just aren't many viable places to hide such a huge volume of goods without them being found. The forest. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they escaped by train? No, that can't be. Boarding a train with that much merchandise would raise suspicion for sure. It's been less than a day since the burglary happened, so they can't have gone far. Maybe we should ask around the main roads to see if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Someone suspicious might have been spotted leaving, or even entering the town. Sounds like a wise course of action. Let's resume our search. We mustn't let this cowardly thief run free. I wouldn't dream of it. Alright, so to the West Celtic Highway, which is this way. Or not. Oh, we gotta go this way first, I guess. Lulu, are you okay? Look what that nasty man did to her. Something the matter? I was just chasing after Lulu near the west exit of town, and there was this weird man asleep along the side of the street. A weird man? Sweep in the midst of a bustling town like this, oblivious to its dangers, suggests he must possess formidable skill. Or he was just really drunk. The nasty smell coming off of him nearly made little Lulu faint. That's terrible. It really was. I don't know who he is, but I'll make sure to keep an eye on Lulu and make sure she keeps her distance from him. So he's not from this town then. I'm not sure. I only started seeing him around a few days ago. I'd never seen him before that. Really now, that sounds like a lead if I've ever heard of one. If he's drinking in the middle of the day and he isn't Instructor Sarah, then we know he's not a merchant at the very least. Yeah, I think we should go talk to him. Let's have a look near the west exit and see if we can track him down. I already kind of pieced this together. They're hiding in the forest, and we already met people that were being suspicious the day before. Bring me another drink. Pew, this guy Reese, how much has he put down? It's only midday, and he's already completely blitzed. I don't think this is the man we're looking for. I think he'd have trouble pulling off a robbery. Sir, are you alright? We can help you back home if you'd like. Shh, leave me alone. I'm just a good for nothing who just loses his job looking after that nature park pushed my whole life. Nature park? I wonder if he's talking about the Guanaria Nature Park we saw yesterday. Oh, you kids know it? You see, I used to be the park ranger for that old place. And then you lost your job? Yeah, out of nowhere too. I gave my life to that job, I did, and then he just came and took it all from me. The damned official just showed up out of nowhere and told me I was sacked. Yeah, I can't just take a man's livelihood off him like that. It's not fair. That job was my life. My life. Yes, we can see that. Something about this doesn't sound right. I agree, it hardly seems fair to take a man's job away from him without a good reason. Right? I'm so glad somebody understands how I feel. There's no way a bunch of kids like that are going to do a better job than me. Kids? I was drinking here last night too, see? A bunch of kids in ranger uniforms went walking out the town through the west exit. Yeah. Weird thing was he was carrying a bunch of wooden boxes too, in the middle of the night. Kids these days, I tell you. You don't think they could have been. Nature park? I fucking knew it as soon as I saw the nature park. I wouldn't even have considered it. But given its size, it would no doubt be a perfect hiding spot. Yet they have no trouble stashing the merchandise there undetected. The man standing at the entrance yesterday were probably there as lookouts. And a provincial official was the one to tell him he was fired. That's practically a smoking gun. I say something useful or something? Don't know what I said. If I helped you out, why not buy me a drink? I would suggest you start trying to sober yourself up instead. There's a good chance we may be able to recover both your park and your job. What? We know our next stop. As soon as we're fully prepared, let's head on out to the Wineria Nature Park. Right. Alright, let's just head there now. Everyone's full health, right? Yeah.
We should take a right here to reach the nature park.
Let's,
Right. Let's go.
we can get this way. That's the monster we're looking for.
Watch out! This is a tough one!
That thing's
Here we
freaky
go.
looking.
There! Now's our chance!
An opening!
It's my turn. Turn to flames. Now.
I'll pick you up! My turn! Shatter! Now!
Go!
Analyzing enemy attack patterns.
There we go.
My turn!
Okay, that won't reach. So we're gonna move to here.
It's my turn. Fire! Now.
I'll pick you up!
Go!
Of course!
Keep attacking. Damn, she didn't even have a chance to move.
Here we go!
Nobody. That's
Alright,
fine.
let's do
Every 3 is better than nothing.
Right. Turn to flames. Burn! Now.
I'll pick you up!
Just
Keep it
down
up,
everyone.
Right! Huh? Gah!
my turn!
It's my turn.
There.
My turn!
Man, it's like a guarantee at least one person's gonna get hit. I had no way of moving in.
Right!
Oh, I guess I should have pushed back his time.
Go!
That would probably have been the right idea.
I can do this. Turn to flames. Burn!
Oh, I didn't.
Now!
Okay, there we go. I still
I'll
get
pick
it.
you up! Right! Shatter!
Here we go!
Okay,
There!
this will cut through.
Go!
An opening!
Get a chance to move. Cool.
I can do this. Turn to flames. Go!
I'll pick you up. My turn.
He's trying to get closer.
Here we go.
Motivate.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, I'm not. I didn't. Oh, I did get everyone. Okay, cool.
Right. Cut.
Right. Arcus activate.
I can't stop that.
Ha!
Killed him though.
Oh, we did.
Great.
Nicely done.
Level
We
up.
did it.
Got quite a few level up. There we go. Did they full heal? Oh, they did because they leveled up. Very nice.
Well,
Oh,
shall we
shit.
begin?
Go.
Alright, crafts, motivate.
Alright.
Right.
Crafts, do lullaby,
Of course.
move. So here.
It's my turn.
Let's get knocked back a little bit.
Of course.
Crafts, Earth Cleaver.
Go. There. Okay, it's safe for now.
There we go. Run around here. That's more Sepid. Run through here. Cut these open. Alright, but we're gonna end the episode here. But thanks for watching, and I'll
can
see
do
you next time. Have a good one.